my name's Kevin and welcome to another video. In this week's video we're going to have a look at several different items and also a future project which I'm now looking at and sourcing some of the parts for that. But anyway, first of all we'll just go through. I've had some stickers come in for the last couple of weeks actually, but I just haven't had time to make a video or to put them on a board. But anyway, we've got one from Steve Summers. He's a sort of a larger channel, real interesting, got some nice machinery. Active Atom, which is another really interesting channel, varied content, and Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop. She's like me, she really enjoys model steam engines and model engines in particular, so very interesting channel to watch. Craig's Workshop, he's roughly the same size as my channel, which is about 450 to 500 subscribers. And Craig's got some good content, and he's also got some interesting projects coming up, so he'll be an interesting watch. And then Swan Valley Machine Shop is another really interesting varied channel. So anyway, so those are the stickers. By the way, if you want to trade stickers, just send me an email to this address and we'll swap details and we'll send each other stickers. Next on the list we've got some cutting discs or grinding discs. These are diamond encrusted and they are specifically going to be for sharpening carbide end mills and some of the other carbide tooling which I've got. So that's going to be good, going to be a bit of a learning curve on that, so we'll see how that goes. But these, like I say, are diamond encrusted, quite a coarse disc, so that's going to be interesting to see how they grind up and sharpen. Well, here's a close-up of the grinding wheels. As you can see, they're sparkling away there, which is the diamond content within the wheel. That's going to be interesting to use these and see how I get on with those. The grit is, these are 180 grit, so reasonably coarse. I know they use wheels a lot coarser than that, but I think 180 is going to be, ideal just for just putting a nice tip back on a blunt end mill, carbide end mill. So anyway, so that's going to be for the flutes and obviously for the cutting edge. And then to cut the reliefs, if we need to, we've got a thin blade which is about 3 mil, 3 mil across the flats there. So that's going to cut the relief in. Same again, 180 grit, diamond encrusted. Next on the list is an ER32 collet block, which we're going to have to make a backing plate for to go onto the lathe. This is just the backing plate off my 4-jaw, so we're going to have to mount that on something like that. So we've got to replicate all this detail at the back here. So I've got a chunk of 1020 steel here, which is going to be an ideal metal for that. So we'll have a look at that, machine that down, machine straight through, and then we'll have to cut the threads obviously to match the lathe nose. And I'll just show you what we've got on the nose of this lathe. We'll just lock the head so it can't move, and we'll just take off this chuck. Good tip, always use something like a piece of wood on your ways, so if you drop the chuck it doesn't damage your ways in any way. So here's my nose. Obviously we've got a register point here, which is the face, and then we've got this register here. And I'll show you just putting the 4-jaw chuck backing plate on. And so that's what we've got to make. So obviously to fit the register on the back of the ER32 collet chuck. And the last thing I want to talk about is the next project which I've got coming up, and that's a David Kurzel hit and miss model engine, probably about this sort of size. And it's going to be an interesting build. It's going to be a bit of a complex build, just the way the engine is built, and I'll show you some pictures of that. And yes, no, it's going to be an interesting build. It's got, you know, little valves, and so it's like an ignition system on there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, I'll show you some pictures. So this is obviously the engine. We've got two flywheels, and then we've got our ignition timing system coming through here, spark plug, and a couple of valves here, inlet valve and an exhaust valve. And I'll just flick through some of the pictures. So here's a 3D picture of it. You can see a nice looking engine. The piston runs through this cylinder here, and this here is a water jacket. So there's water in here for cooling. And then there's a recess in here where the water will go around the piston sleeve and actually obviously keep the engine cool. Not that this engine runs particularly hot, but it will help just to keep it a bit cooler. So, but yeah, I've got all the plans here. Lots of parts to be made, gears, so there's going to be some gear cutting involved, and you know, some sort of easy and some complex machining. So it's going to be really interesting. And here's just some more pictures. Made from steel, brass, silver steel. The piston sleeve, I don't know what I'm going to do make that out of yet, but it calls for a cast iron, not a cast iron, an iron sleeve. But I don't know, I see that other people have made them out of stainless steel. So I don't know yet. It depends what I can get hold of, and obviously at a reasonable price. So here's just some more shots of the machinings, bronze bearings for the crankshaft. What else? So the spark plug itself, I see that they've got plans here to make your own spark plug. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know whether I'm going to make one yet or buy a ready-made one. I'll see. I'll think about that. So yeah, so it's going to be a really interesting build. This is another set of plans, and just looking at the engine in a different way, which I've just printed off the internet as well. These plans were free off the internet, and the way I searched for them was because when you look at model engines, there's so many model engines on there which are made from castings. And they're quite expensive, particularly like the Stewart range of engines, which you know, they're beyond really what I want to pay for something like this. But if you're searching for a steam engine or an engine what you want to build, just put in there bar length steam engine or bar length model engine, and you'll be surprised the amount of plans what come up, which, you know, the engine is made from bar length as opposed from castings or from a kit. You know, that's like this engine is made just purely from bars, you know, bar lengths and that. So it's going to be interesting, and obviously you're machining everything from scratch, not from a kit. So I really enjoy that. So anyway, that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.